This is 2.9 on page 104. Identify 7 aspects of the physical environment within your care environment that could be improved by applying the dementia design principles. Plenty, did you say? You should take photos of each aspect of the physical environment and include these in your project. So taking photos will be an important part of this. So you get to practice using your phone. If you cannot find examples of some types of environments, you may submit photographs from books or the internet and use these for your project. Okay. Identify whether and how each photograph illustrates either a gap in best practice or best practice. So if you've got a really ideal situation that works really well, take a photo of that. So either show up a gap or show me the ideal situation. This should be in a written form, in a short statement and description, approximately 50 words for each of the 7 examples. Number 3, identify a strategy for improvement. How could you improve this situation? What would you do to reduce or eliminate the gap between the current environment and best practice? If it is best practice, how else could it be done? Describe it briefly, approximately 100 words, in a way that relates logically to the problems or best practice identified above. Is everyone with me?
So that means 50 words for each example, we have to write it down.
That's right.
What is the problem or best practice?
Yes.
And about 100 words for each of them for improvement.
Yes. Number 4, identify how each aspect of the physical environment meets one or more of the 5 essential needs. Can you remember what the 5 essential needs were?
Yeah.
You've got them listed there. All right. If it does not meet a particular need or prevents a need being met, explain how this is the case. How does it meet this need, or how does it not meet the need? In what way does it prevent this need being met? In residents generally. So to do this, identify at least one need for each of the 7 physical environment types you have identified above. Now let's think about the physical environment types. You've got 7. Let's see if we can make a list. What are the 7? Let's see if we can make different environment, to identify different types of physical environment. Think about spaces. What spaces come to mind?
Bathrooms.
Sorry?
Bathrooms.
Bathrooms. Okay. Yep. What else? Dining. Yep.
And lounge.
Lounge.
Activities.
Bedroom.
Bedroom.
Kitchenette.
Yep.
Always.
Any others?
Outdoor area, down.
Outdoor. Good. Anything else come to mind?
You put things like storage rooms.
Yeah, I was thinking pan room.
Pan rooms, clean rooms.
I mean, ours is supposed to be locked, but they're not always locked.
Right, let's call them utilities.
Yeah.
Call those utility spaces. Thinking of spaces that residents use. They probably shouldn't be using those spaces. Okay, so these, I would suggest you make a list of these if you haven't written them down already, so that you can take photographs of each of these and use that as headings in your assessment, so that you tell me clearly what you think this space refers to.
Because like in the house, you know, the lounge room and the activity room is the same thing.
Right, okay, so they might be,
Yeah, well,
yep. And some people even have dining and activities as the same space.
Yeah.
So you might, yeah, which is not ideal by any means, but that's a good illustration of where something is not best practice.
Yes.
So perhaps if that's the case, if you've got a dining and activity space, take photos of both uses of the same space so that you can illustrate that this is what happens to them, and even take a photo of the transition. What happened? How does furniture get moved around here? Who does it? Remember, your photographs are not going to be made public, but I would suggest that you not take photographs involving residents. That's a privacy concern. And you'll notice that little privacy paragraph up the top there, that applies here. We should not identify individual residents either by name or in photographs. So I'd prefer if you don't include residents' faces at least. Maybe from the back, yeah, would be fine.